we're gonna talk about the first 3 episodes of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So I guess the first half, right? It's 6 episodes, Aaron?
Oh my god.
Wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, halfway through. To start off with, I find it interesting, just like at the beginning of the show, we have reminded of Sam's reluctance to take up the mantle, immediately followed with him doing work for the U.S. government and army and everything. And I find it interesting how, like, his reluctance to take up the shield seems to have nothing to do with serving as a tool for Empire, in spite of that being something that's so antithetical to what Steve was about.
Yeah.
Like that part of
weird.
that part of the conflict, I feel like, as I said to you before, they're brushing up on stuff that I don't think that Marvel is equipped to handle, because the answers are pretty much guaranteed to be outside of the worldview that Marvel inherently possesses.
Yeah. The fact that they've spent so long with like imperialism and fucking might makes right being unquestioned goods, it kind of makes it impossible for them to completely heel turn on that.
Right.
They would have to be a total overhaul of everyone's perspective. We'd have to have another Civil War type scenario and just have like a clear victor in the fucking.
And that just brings us right back to what it always is, isn't it? Like, whether it's fucking Hydra or Skrulls or what the fuck ever, it's always, well, it's not the institution, it's these bad people that are infiltrating the institution. That's the problem. So we get another Civil War situation, it's just going to be one of those things again.
Right.
That, someone is just...
Scapegoat.
Right. There's just, it was a nice action sequence, though.
In the first episode? Yeah. With the Falcon flying around?
Yeah.
Shit, that was super cool.
It was a nice... you brought up, Aaron, it was an homage to the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, it's an homage. Like, the very beginning of it is basically, like, not shot for shot by any means, but same bad guy from the beginning of Falcon and Winter Soldier, just some sort of B-plot villain that means nothing, but he's really cool. And then he makes a quip, like, as he jumps out of the plane, which is the exact same thing that happens in Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's all.
That is cool. So, when was the last time you saw some French terrorists, huh? We plan to steal the world's frog legs. There's nothing you can do about it. All right. No, but, it seems like, and we're seeing it now with the fucking flag smashers, it's just like, I want to go to this, like, last scene that we've seen of these super soldiers, just to, like, because it's a really good keystone for, like, how they fuck this whole plot up. Like, their ideas are like, okay, so genocide is bad, world destabilizing events are caused by imperial powers and are often the fault of superheroes, which we know are taking the place of, like, military exceptionalism in America. Fucking and instead of acting in a way that's antithetical to that it's like human driven, they are just like, oh, if we had the power, things would be better, and so it doesn't matter who we kill to do that.
Right.
It's treating all ideologies as just being, like, inherently corrupted by the idea of trying to concede power or to take power.
And I don't really think that we'll necessarily, like, go over, like, bullet point more, like, broader things that are happening. Like with the Flag Smashers, overall, over the 3 episodes, it's like the show cannot seem to make because there isn't an argument against them philosophically. Like, philosophically, they're completely in the right. Yeah. And so it's frustrating how that last scene with Morgenthau.
Yeah.
Where it's like, of course, you have to make her into
A murderer, a
an
mass
unrepentant mass murderer because it's the only way to she has to be evil.
And the same thing happened with Zemo, really, because he had legitimate grievance.
Yeah, and then the thing with U.S. Agent with Walker is like, because we're seeing it from the perspective of Sam and Bucky, he's obviously an antagonist, but he's also the exact answer to the Flag Smashers.
Yeah.
Like, so it's like you have both of these like sides of it, both set up as the antagonist, and like narratively the Flag Smashers are, but I don't think they're really like on Sam and Bucky's radar, except for the fact that they have the serum. Like, they're like ideologically, I don't think they're as concerned with them as they are, or at least Bucky, as he is with Walker being an oppositional force philosophically to him.
Yeah.
But that's what's weird to me is like it's painting Walker as someone we shouldn't like or whatever, but he's also like, well, that's how you solve the Flag Smasher problem, is you just drop justice on them.
Yeah.
You know, like, so it's like what answer are they going for here?
Yeah. And they explained away the legitimacy of the Flag Smashers in like a couple breaths in the first episode. Be like, the idea makes sense to a lot of people.
Right.
Or the fact that they are like connected to this, like, they want things to go back to the way it was during the blip.
Right.
But there were still established nations during the blip. So like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, the idea that Thanos' plan would have worked is inherently ridiculous.
Right.
Because the issue isn't the amount of resources that we have available, it's our willingness to distribute them.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking, there's enough food and water and shelter to you know, get everybody coming, and fucking we're just withholding because we get off on that.
Yep.
Yeah. Pretty much.
And so, yeah, just to say that, like, if Thanos, you know, if that was just undone, then, oh, shit, now we've got all the same problem. Like, no. The problem wasn't solved when Thanos snapped. It just, like, was immediately more, like, fucking hard to justify than the mass inequality.
What does
of
happen to all
distribution.
that unowned property and all that stuff that...
Right, exactly. I
Right.
mean, the fucking, I guess the state would have to, that's the only, like, authority, I guess, over it. That's the only thing establishing property as as ownership, you know, like, is the state. So, I mean, fuck. Also, if it was just random, like, it was just random half of the, like, sentient people and sentient entities in the world, who's to say that the half that didn't remain...
I mean,
like,
there's such a small minority of power.
Yeah.
Like, mathematically,
Right.
the majority of people that have been blipped would have been poor working class people.
Yeah, that
Like,
weren't the problem.
Yeah, that would have been the global south, would have been the majority of people that would have...
So, yeah, Thanos could have probably achieved the same level of fucking redistribution of wealth by, like, snapping out maybe fucking 100 people.
Specific, like,
yeah.
1% of the global population.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy how that works. But, yeah, no. I guess...
100 billionaires.
And on the same track, it's how the show presents an obvious, like, framing of systemic racism and oppression with Sam and his sister, and that whole subplot that other than a little bit this last episode hasn't come back up again yet. And with Isaiah,
Yeah.
with the old black super soldier, while avoiding implicating the system so far, we don't know what's going to happen in the next few episodes, but so far avoiding implicating the system Sam is an active part of in that oppression.
Yeah.
Like it's
Right.
like it acknowledges that it exists,
Right.
but it doesn't.
And yeah, what we learned this episode, this last one, about like Angle taking on this project for the U.S. military or for Shield or whoever he was doing it for, and then just like keeping the project going afterwards. That says a lot about like what weapons manufacturing does for the world, and like the fact that it's not a deterrent on any kind of like global terror. It just, if you make a bunch of weapons, eventually they're going to get into somebody's fucking hands.
Yeah.
And generally people benefit from like the selling of those arms to like both sides of any conflict, because why wouldn't you if you were in the if you were already selling guns to people?
I brushed on this in the Batman video, but it's an inevitability, and there's been like studies on this since 9/11, and since like the militarization of police, that when you have escalation on the side of law enforcement, which is what our superheroes basically are, it invites escalation on the side of crime, because the people that are still willing to take the risk are willing to engage in higher levels of violence. And so, you have a Batman character, then the people on the street pretty soon end up being your Jokers and Two-Faces and stuff, because they're the only ones who actually have the stones to actually take on that challenge. So all you do is just continue the escalation of violence. By raising the stakes and just continuing to up your own side's power level. It just invites the other side to just get stronger and stronger.
An arms race really can only end in disarmament or in war.
Right.
Yeah.
Off of the deep shit for just a second. I absolutely loved Sharon in this last episode.
She was really cool.
First of all, fucking so badass. That, to me, that's how you do a powerless superhero.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, most importantly, make them philosophically opposed to the heroes, so they have a reason why they're not like one to jump into the big fight, but also make them just a complete terrifying badass in their own regard, and give them their own thing to do outside of the main track of things to make it more interesting.
Why was she not pardoned?
Because she's not an Avenger.
Yeah.
That just like after that happened, after they got pardoned and everything, they were just like, is there somebody else we're forgetting about?
I guess so.
That's just.
I think that's why she was pissed, understandably.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
She just kind of got forgotten. I mean, it fucking happens. If you got like a bureaucratic system involved in like,
She didn't
your
have,
legal status.
Right. She didn't have fucking Captain America or fucking billionaire Tony Stark like to pull the strings for her. She,
right before the last time you see Cap and her together. Like what?
still, like, it makes complete sense to me. Like,
Yeah.
not one of the, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, not one of the whole like sanctified ones. Like
she's not chosen.
Exactly. Like
The all of the like alphabet organizations in like all of our intelligence, communities. If you're engaged in something where like it's really important that you keep certain things under wraps, and like if you're controlling intelligence at all, there's got to be just like so many people that you had to manipulate for your own for the institution's purposes, and then just like get rid of for the same reasons.
Yeah, she was, and that's the thing. Like, they couldn't, PR wise, they couldn't just throw the Avengers under the bus.
Right.
She was expendable. Also expendable.
Jason Statham, The Rock, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
So Sam's arc is all about learning that he is the right man to take up the shield, while Bucky seems to be about learning to forgive himself and how that like see himself as a human, and to like see the opportunity of new life, and that's really hard when everyone around him seems to see him as a weapon still.
Yeah.
And that's like, especially like this last episode, that seems to be
Zemo.
really like,
Yeah, I think that's kind of like the Stockholm syndrome that we're addressing in Bucky.
Yeah.
Like he was like, his first reaction is, let's go find Zemo. Like he obviously knows what's going on.
Right.
So
I think he's just gonna have to confront him, like himself, that he is in fact and always will be the Winter Soldier, and that's what this part is about.
I mean,
In like his aspect of,
I think you're right in that he has to accept that his body did those things,
Right.
but his mind wasn't present for it.
yeah.
well, trauma is all about,
I also don't know anything about these people.
Right. Yeah. It's all good.
trauma is all about memory being broken to a point that you can't create your own internal narrative anymore. And for Bucky, that's the things he's done, obviously,
Yeah.
and so and that's the best part about the first episode and the linchpin to Bucky's arc, Mr. Nakajima. That's where he comes into that, is allowing Bucky to be forgiven and to start to repair that broken part of himself. Because he has to accept that he was the Winter Soldier, but he also has to find a way to rewrite his own story to fill in the gaps that creates for himself. And I don't.
It's kind of really sad. It's really, really sad.
Yeah.
Because, there must have been, like, countless people who, like, had tours of duty in the military and did some, like, heinous shit because they were, like, for all, intents and purposes, they were brainwashed into it.
Right.
Because that's the process of becoming in the military.
Right.
Is, like, they break you down and make your mind, compatible with the ideology and purpose of, fucking global hegemonic imperialism.
Yeah.
And in doing so, a lot of people fucking, when they come out of it, they're like, it may take a while, or they may never realize it, but, the ones that do have to confront the fact that, oh, fuck, I did all this terrible shit, and there's some level of, like, my personhood that's involved in, like, being able to be blamed for that. Even if I didn't realize at the time, I still allowed my body to be used as a puppet for this, this faceless, evil cause.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's sad because they even brag about it, like that they survived.
Yeah, that's
that brainwashing.
That's the other side of it too. Sometimes it's easier to just double down on this like terrible thing than to confront the fact that you did wrong.
I mean, it's a Stockholm kind of thing. Like, you become the monster that you have to like learn to live with and love for your own like self-preservation and everything.
Yeah, it's like that dude who I can't remember what his name was, but he shot that guy in that hallway of that hotel. The guy was like on the ground on his knees, and the cop shot him, and he had like "You're fucked" carved into.
Yeah.
It was either the side of his bullets or his gun itself, and yeah, it's just like, what? How do you get that person? I mean, it's pretty obvious. There are a bunch of different sources you could in our culture, but like, fuck, that's a dark path. Like, why would you want that? I don't think any person seeks that out. That's something that's like done to you on some level, and it's like up to your, will as a human being to resist it.
Damn. So
Falcon and Winter Soldier.
So back to back to
what's their ship name? You guys think is it Winkin or Falter?
It's Winter Falcon.
You already know.
So my least favorite moment
Snowbird.
so far, and my favorite moment so far. Least favorite has to be the goddamn fucking couples therapy scene.
That was so weird.
Yeah.
That was okay. So that was the most forced thing I think I've ever seen in a Marvel property, because it's like, you don't have, first of all, you have no jurisdiction over this man. You can't just be like, in here, I need both of you.
Yeah.
And second of all, even if like, I can even understand, like, look, I'm granting this on like terms that you are his whatever chaperone, whatever, like, it's like, do you agree to like make sure that he doesn't like fuck off and comes back when this is over and you're in charge of him? Like, sure, I can do that. Okay, that makes sense to me. But to be like, I need both of you. Now, what's your problem with each other? Why do you know they have a problem with each other? When does that come up? Why is this happening? I need you to face each other. Like, why? Because we're shooting the trailer right now. We need a scene of you guys sitting with each other and bickering for 5 minutes. Like, it's the most forced thing, and it hurts every time that I watch it.
Hey, listen, I'm a by-the-book cop who's just trying to get by. Well, I'm too busy being a fucking maverick.
Yeah, exactly.
No, it's like, I get what you're saying, but I also think that scene was also fucking staged as the psychiatrist fucking up. Like, I mean, obviously it was shoehorned in and it was fucking contrived as hell. But, like, I think what they were trying to get together was that, like, she was flawed too. And that, like, she obviously didn't handle the situation well. Like, that's not how to deal with the conflict, is to just, like, just put it in the center of a room and everybody run at it head first.
Because it doesn't come off to me as her being incompetent. It comes off to me as cartoonish and unbelievable.
Yeah,
It really reminded me of high school and how they would do group counseling sessions.
Right.
God.
Yeah.
Put somebody in a room with their bully and then ask them if they're being bullied. That's such a
great
idea.
idea. Oh my God.
Now, on the flip side of that, the fucking in media res at the beginning of episode 3 was absolutely phenomenal. Like,
that's cool.
Kind of realized, like, halfway through it going on, like, oh, he already broke Zemo out. This is cool. And then, like, the way that it revealed, and the way they rolled that into a brilliant interaction between Sam and Bucky, that was a great moment. That was a great, like, time between the two of them. Let me have my arm.
I really liked that it started too with Bucky saying, "Let's say hypothetically."
Yeah. You know, the moment anyone says that in general, they've already done the thing they're about to ask.
Yeah, or they're or they're Ben Shapiro, and shit's even more messed up.
Yeah, I don't know the number of times that I've said, so hypothetically, as I just hear something being destroyed in the background, just trying to gauge how much I need to lie to this person about what happened.
Yeah. So, hypothetically, let's say your house was on fire. Don't you think you would just sell it?
Oh my God, that man is just the worst.
I'm honestly, first of all, Zemo is completely right about demagoguery.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised that he even pulled like the H card on Bucky whenever he was like, "Quit, Rayla! God damn it!"
The words.
whenever
Is that what you're talking about?
no, well, no, that I knew he was gonna do that, but when he was talking about like people follow strong men, he's to like you fought the war against people who followed a strong man. Hitler.
Yeah.
He was like, I was surprised that they actually went there of like, that's what this leads to. Like,
Yeah.
that's what you people can lead to.
Right.
But what do you think they're leading to with Zemo?
I think Zemo is gonna be like. I feel like he's gonna.
Thunderbolts.
That might be cool.
Called the Thunderbolts.
They already established that his being there is a source of conflict between Falcon and Winter Soldier. So I think obviously it's going to have to do something with like some level of strife between them. Like Zemo's going to play them against each other, or Zemo's going to take a position and Bucky's going to be okay with it, and then Falcon is going to be pissed about it, and so they'll have that kind of split. But I actually don't know where they're going to end up. Like I can't even really tell. Like there's so much that could be done with that character. He could die. He could become like sort of an anti-hero. He could become like a Spectre sort of thing in the
most intriguing thing I've seen so far, bless and bless,
stay blessed.
Stay blessed, is he won't betray them during the course of the show, and will keep working with them. Things will go smoothly, and he'll get a pardon and get the authorization to make the Thunderbolts, and will do it from within the system, as opposed to and still operate as as anti-hero, whatever that however they operate, but more I found I think that would be more interesting than just him fucking off with super soldier serum or something and just or whatever and just doing it by himself, but just using the tools of the system against them seems to be in line with what he would do.
It was real nice of him to put that mask on to help out the stunt team too.
Yeah.
Really considerate.
Yeah.
Because I can't think of another reason why you would don a mask for 5 minutes.
Right.
When you're not interacting with anybody
and
who could
you're going to
recognize
every
you.
one of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
There's also one this is just completely sporadic and not really connected to what we were just talking about. There's one moment they missed that could have been a really good comedic moment. Whenever Bucky tosses that metal pipe through that guy's through the lady's shoulder.
Yeah.
I really wanted him to wince and be like, 'cause that's a really gruesome thing to do to somebody. Can you imagine? For one thing, the chunk of flesh that got caught up in the pipe is gonna slump out of one side of it. Another thing, you're pinned to something now.
Speaking of chicken nuggets.
Yeah, if you
No.
if you have to walk to get medical help, you're just gonna have a fucking pipe sticking out of you the whole time. It's just not
just think of him going.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, because he they have a beat of just his face, and where they're just look how badass that was. But I really wanted him to be oh god.
As always, I'm Zach.
Oh my god, we never did it.
Nope.
Aaron did it.
We went
Yeah, he
straight
did.
into.
Yeah, he did in the
Oh,
chat,
that's
so I
fair.
went around it.
He's Zach.
Thanks. Tim Tam the Zim Zam.
I'm Goose.
I'm tired.
And that's Aaron off camera.
Yep.
He didn't.
Tomorrow we have a very special live stream for you guys at 1-ish o'clock. So come hang out and watch some magic and some terror and some terrifying magic.
You heard it here first. They're gonna do close-up magic. You're gonna be wowed.
Yep. We're gonna does it magic. And that's about it. So yeah. Like, subscribe, do all the things. See you next week. See you throughout the week. Love you. Bye.